Welcome back to Route 4 TV. Today I want to talk to you about the Mk7P, which is a Tacamo magazine kit for the X7 Phenom. Okay, so today what we're going to look at is basically a Phenom that comes out of the box. Now for the sake of this video, to make it a little bit shorter, we've already taken out a lot of the pins, rear sight, have transferred over to the new body. But I'll give you pretty much a tour of how you would transfer your parts over from the Phenom over to the magazine kit. Again, you follow your Tippmann instruction manual for disassembly. Remove all the pins, starting with the back cap. After that, trigger would be the best bet. You will remove basically this bolt that's holding the whole valve assembly inside. Once we take that out, again, part with the two O-rings. Okay, on the opposite side, basically the cyclone assembly is being held in by this pin here. Okay. We'll get a little bit more detail about that once we assemble to the magazine kit. So that's pretty much it. This is all your internals coming out of the magazine kit. Now if we're going to do a magazine configuration, we're pretty much done as soon as you remove the front cover and barrel. Okay? So if you're not going to use a cyclone configuration, you can set this aside and we can cover that in a little bit. Okay, so here we go. Here is the Tacamo magazine kit for the Phenom. Okay, we've already inserted the barrel inside here, the magazine feed cover on this opposite side. Again, this is very familiar to the A5 videos that you've seen already, but here goes, the installation. Okay, be sure before you assemble the magazine, always put the feed cover in first. Okay, so once again, our valve that we removed from the Phenom goes inside. Okay, now, we said we can get back to this. Okay, so this is a cyclone assembly plug. In this case, this is where the blowback air would come out to the cyclone. We still require this part. However, we will supply a plug that will make this so you don't have loss of air efficiency. Okay, so this goes back inside the same way that it would on this side, just omitting the whole airline hose that is shown here. Okay? Again, the way this works, you slide that forward. Once that's in the forward position, what we pretty much do is we put the cross bolt back, and that will hold your whole magazine, your whole valve assembly basically holds it in place. Here we go, this is a little tight. There we go. So again, it's flushed with the body just as it is on the standard Tippmann. Your magazine, your trigger assembly slides in the same form. So at this point, of course, you would put in your pins to hold in place. Most likely not the back one because you still have to put on the back cover, so something like so. Okay. Again, so you have two configurations. One to use a magazine fed or cyclone. So what we've done with this is basically this would be your chamber rebuilder and your cyclone attachment, which will also use your basically I don't want to say fake magazine, but the magazine that really doesn't do anything other than look like something. Okay, so this would go inside right here, and this has all the necessary locations and screw locations to attach the cyclone feed. But today we're going to look at the magazine, because after all, this is what we've been waiting for, magazine fed Phenom, so here we go. Okay, so the magazine fed, the Mk7 basically comes supplied with the magazine well. Now again, we've discussed in some of the previous videos how all of these kits now will have a very easy disassembly process. So you don't have to use the screws to switch back and forth. So again, as shown in some of the previous videos, here you go. This goes into this notch right here, goes right over, and that's pretty much your assembly for your magazine fed. You put the supplied pin. Now you can use your standard Tippmann pins on this, however, it needs to be a little bit longer, so we will supply that for you. Okay, just like that. Again, let me put one of these here also so we can have a little bit more of a rigid setup. So, realistically, once you have these pins inside, you have a functioning marker, but of course it's not completely assembled. There you go. It clips in very nicely. Nice and stuff. Okay, I'll put that in here in a second. Okay, I do want to talk to you about, if you are going to use this, you have two ways of using your included or your stock, let's call this a shroud or a little tiny handguard that the Phenom comes with. Because of the way the magazine works and basically where the feed port is, you have this extra section of rail. If you choose to use this one, which you can, you will have to cut it off. Okay, I mean there's no no way around it. It's very easy to cut off. I mean, you have a very little piece of material holding here, and it's actually perfectly on the notch. So you will have a complete Picatinny rail down here in any case. Okay, so this is necessary if you're going to use your standard one. We will include, well, not include, but we will have available to complete a better, I mean, maybe mimic more of an actual firearm. We'll have extended handguards available, different sizes. So anywhere in the 6-inch range, 9, and even up to 12-inch in the future. So if you were to use one of our system ones, well, again, you'll put the pins through, and well, that would be that. However, so you can basically use this right the first day you get it. Again, you just have to cut that little piece off right there, and here we go. So slides in just right, just like the original. Press that in there, put your pins through, and of course you can use these this standard back cap, and there you go. I mean, that's pretty much what you would have with no extra accessories. This is your Phenom basically ready out of the box. This is actually pretty cool. Nice little compact. Okay, so I'm saying, I mean, you have a stock basically Phenom. This is pretty much what you have from your original one. Now, many of you already have some accessory buttstocks and barrels and so forth. So pretty much everything is, I mean, everything will fit right off the bat. Again, if you want a more complete looking marker, or for functionality in some cases, as you know, the Phenom and the X7 already have the ability to have an air through the marker. Of course, all of our magazine kit series now have that ability as well, but in this case, this is something that you're already used to. Again, so in this case, we're going to add in a M4 carbine buttstock just to complete the look a little bit more. Again, these can be now equipped with some. Our Flexi Air system can be equipped with a remote line in the buttstock, or even an air source in the buttstock as well. Okay, so I mean that pretty much, again, you have a CQB with the buttstock. Okay. Which, continuing on with this MK7 overall layout. Again, we showed you very much how easy it was to assemble. At this point, I mean, it's just as easy as sticking on an air tank. Now, standard configuration has the air tank down here, which is why, if you want a more realistic looking marker, we suggest that you go through the Flexi Airline system, or at least Airline in the stock. But this right here is ready to shoot, clearly so. Goggles, of course, would be nice, but this is completely unloaded. You can check. Now, another advantage with this one is that the magazine is at your trigger finger, so for fast loading drills and so forth, it's a lot easier to take it out. I mean, that's the advantage, of course, by design of the Phenom, where the valve is placed, it allows you to do that. Okay. For some of the other magazine kits, of course, we're implementing some basically magazine release assist, so you can still get it at fingertip length. So anyway, like I said, this is ready to shoot. So I mean, this is ready. In this case, this is the mechanical version for more economic solution, but of course, it's going to be full auto right off the bat. Okay. Again, as mentioned, I mean, this whole magazine, well, it's made so you can very quickly disassemble it. Okay. If you need to clean it for whatever reason, again, there you go. You have complete access to the breech. You can run your squeegee through here. We've seen in some videos, of course, this is not the design intent to gain access here, but it is possible. You can put a first strike round right in here and breech load it. Of course, for first strike, this is truly designed for the D-mag when that comes out.